What's going on, everybody? This is Slick Trades here. I'm an ICT trader. I trade inverse fair value gaps. Um, I trade futures, so we're gonna get a look in at market open this morning. For those of you that don't know what a IFVG is, inverse fair value gap. First, you need to know what a fair value gap is, which all that is the gap between three candles, whether it be up or down. Okay, so it'd be here's the fair value gap here. Wick to wick, body to wick, body to body, whatever the case may be. So I trade the inverse of that. So I'll wait for the candle close above the fair value gap, and then, for example, I'd go long here. Now, this morning, we had about an A minus A setup. We just about everything we needed but SMT. Okay, I believe Dodgy took the same trades too. I've necessarily learned a lot from. So here's 9:30 market open, right about there. I saw a good little inversion and liquidity sweep from market open, that being right here. So screw all this right here. We can we don't gotta look at it. So ignore all of this pretty much. So what we traded was market open, which is 9:30. Okay, we came in, we immediately swept London highs from the previous session. Okay, immediately. And in that, what do you notice? Fair value gap right there. Okay, so not only do we have an inverse fair value gap, this is just my thought process while I'm trading, guys. All of these are just confluences, in other words, ideas that all give the same hint to the same direction. So there's our fair value gap. It inverses, okay? And then it also sweeps the high of the previous session. So that'd be called a liquidity sweep, okay? So we have a liquidity sweep, which hints a reversal, an IFVG, and I believe also on the 15-minute time frame, we had a rejection, which right here, which yes, we did. Look at that. Okay, let's go back to the 1 minute. Okay, so as you can see, obviously we don't see none of this yet in the middle of our trade. So I made about $600 on this trade this morning. We inversed, but not only did we sweep the high, but we inversed off this 15-minute. Let's get this out of here. It's just distracting, but we had a rejection off this 15-minute fair value gap that I just took away. We swept this high. Two indicators right there that we're going to get a reversal, and then we inverse this fair value gap. So my entrance would have been right about here. The first break, okay? Now, something I want you guys to notice is I would have came for this low there. Something I want y'all to notice is when that candle breaks, okay, right here, this candle right here, this black one, it didn't just reverse, okay? This candle with a lot of momentum came and broke this fair value gap with a good little head on it, okay? It wasn't just barely. It didn't take 4 candles to break. It was a whole candle with a lot of momentum, as you can see, that came and broke right through. So now we have every single indicator besides SMT pretty much that we're going to have a reversal. So I like to trade micros just because I can sell contracts along the way. So I might do a mini's worth of micros, whatever. For those of you that don't know, 10 micros is equivalent to a mini. I think one tick of a mini is $12.50. So it's a good little amount of money. So we targeted this low, which is still a smooth, I believe, what is that? 700 to 50. It's about 60 points. Okay, that's a lot of points to get some profit off of. I think when we hit about halfway, I usually sell some of my contracts to, break even, whatever. But something I did this morning that I typically do not ever do is I never ever trade the reversal of a play I just made. So the reversal of the play I just made. But this morning I did, and I'm going to tell you why. Some people would say it's a stupid trade, but we had a liquidity sweep on this low. Okay. And an inversion. Now, with just that right there, I normally wouldn't take it. Okay. And we don't really have, we have a rejection. I mean, it's not a horrible setup, but because there's equal lows down here, it's just, I mean, it's not the smartest setup. But the reason I took this setup is because when it inversed, it had so much momentum, it created a fair value gap, as you can see right here. Okay. Not only did it create its own fair value gap, it inversed this fair value gap, and it came and broke through this fair value gap that we created previously up here with ease, broke right through. When it came and broke through that, it retested its own fair value gap and rejected. So I entered right about here and sold about up here. Okay. Now, that isn't really ICT to the book. Like, that wasn't necessarily ICT trade. That's just being in the market and knowing how things react. Now, I wouldn't take those trades 100% because if we just knew how everything was going to react, we wouldn't even need a setup. But I saw like right about here, I believe, because when this candle started losing a little bit of momentum, and it already wasn't a setup I normally take, so I got out a few hundred and called it a day. Now, for those of you that don't use Top Step, I highly recommend it just because I don't know anybody that didn't get their payout when they actually did good on their evals. And then on top of that, you can lock your account out. Okay, so as you see here, as soon as I was done trading for 600, I locked my account out, which means I can't trade for the rest of the day. Now, all that does is just kind of assure that I don't hop back in and try and make some more trades. And I'm sorry that all this is here. I actually recorded it this morning, but lost the footage. So, if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and leave it in the comments. I like to answer questions and teach people what I know just because it took me a while to learn these things. And sometimes it's hard to find the answers to things that you specifically have a question about. Thank you for watching the video, and I appreciate it.